Hey up, it's Steve from that old Yorkshire geek, and I'm back again with some more Star Trek news. So let's just hit the intro and then we'll have a look. Right, I'm back. So let's get the news page up. There you go, exclusive. This is from Giant Freaking Robot. Link in the description as usual. Don't forget, by the way, to like and subscribe. Where is it? Where have I put my little thing in my bob? Like and subscribe. Is it going to appear? There it is, look. Didn't think it'd work. But you can't really make it out. And subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, and then you'll see, when I put new stuff up. And if I go live, right, here we go. Exclusive Star Trek horror series in development. Horror series for Star Trek. Doesn't bode well, not with me anyway. Right, Paramount Pictures is developing a new Star Trek series in the horror genre. I can't even speak, genre. In the mode of the Alien franchise of films, according to our trusted and proven sources. And it's got a link there, so should I click on that? Nah. I'll take their word for it. Paramount is looking to expand its Star Trek roster of shows into strange new areas. See what they did there? Which includes a horror turn for the beloved science fiction franchise. This is a direction that Star Trek has rarely moved into. I don't know, it's had its fair share of horror episodes, which makes for the exciting potential of new horror-oriented stories. I mean, even Discovery in its early days were pretty horrific in those first few episodes with the tardigrade. I mean, look what happened to that commander woman, I forgot her name. She got ripped apart by it. That was pretty horrific. Anyway, but then the series just became horrific. Anyway. Can you read that? Yes. In recent years, Paramount has been ramping up its slate of Star Trek shows and moving into some other genres that it previously has not explored. Star Trek Lower Decks explores the lives of the non-command staff on a Starfleet ship through a comedic lens. No, I don't like Lower Decks. Jingle, jingle, keys, member berries. Oh, don't you recognise that? Oh, look, let's have him showing his ass. Well, Prodigy is the first child-oriented show. I'll say it again. It's not. It's a Nickelodeon co-production, but it's not. It's not aimed at kids. It's a family show. Anybody can watch it. It's not aimed at. It's not like bloody Bob the Builder or something like that. They're aimed at kids. The first child-oriented show in the franchise so far. It makes a lot of sense that Star Trek would be going to the ever-dependable horror well at some point, given the historical crossover of science fiction and scary stuff. For the most part, Star Trek has usually portrayed a utopian future of exploration and diplomacy, or at least one in which humanity is striving for these things, the occasional bleak Picard notwithstanding. It will be interesting to see how Star Trek reconciles that general tone with horror, but on the other hand, it is a pretty good setup for scariness. To have cheerful people encounter terrible, horrible things. In this circumstance, it would just be terrible, horrible things in space. Haven't they seen Star Trek First Contact? You could say that's a Star Trek horror story with the Borg and stuff, and it's got some horrific imagery in it. Anyway. It will also be very interesting to see how Paramount presents a Star Trek show with alien-style horror. The Alien franchise is one of the cornerstones of body horror in science fiction, with the titular xenomorphs famously being inspired by Swiss artist H.R. Giger's psychosexual nightmares and reproducing via chest-exploding hatchlings. Even describing that is more graphic than Gene Roddenberry's franchise usually gets. You see the Borg Queen in First Contact? But this could be a bold new step for the series. And there's the Borg. Star Trek's flirtations with horror have usually been with the Borg, the cyborg species bent on universal assimilation, first introduced in the Next Generation episode Q Who. And don't forget the Vidians in Star Trek Voyager early on, the first couple of 2 or 3 seasons, whatever, I can't really remember. But there were an episode of that, I think it was called Faces, where the Vidians capture some Voyager crew, and one of them gets his face cut off and put onto a Vidian, person. The Vidians did, organ transplants. They used to kidnap people, kidnap other species, farm their organs and to replace their own because they were suffering from a disease. The entire species was suffering from a disease called the phage, and it meant they were basically rotting. So they found that they could replace their body parts and skin and stuff like that, and they did that in that episode Faces, where we saw a Starfleet officer's face on a Vidian's body, and that was quite horrific. Anyway, where were we? There's always been an element of body horror to the Borg, most unnervingly displayed, there you go, in the First Contact film, in which the previous pale black-clad drones were re-envisioned as slimy corpse-like and reproducing primarily via injected nanobots. While there is no guarantee that this developing Star Trek horror show would involve the Borg, it would seem like a prime potential element. Star Trek has also tended to depict anthropomorphic aliens like Vulcans and Klingons, in part, no doubt due to the budgetary and narrative constraints of television. That's not true. Well, it is, but we were seeded throughout the galaxy, by the aliens that we saw in the episode The Chase, the Next Generation episode The Chase, and they looked like us, sort of. 2 arms, 2 legs, 1 head, 2 eyes. Well, they didn't really have ears. So that's why, and that's what it always has been. It's nothing to do with TV constraints. So it will be interesting to see how it approaches more horror-like aliens. In Strange New Worlds, it was recently revealed that the Gorn species, that's the lizard guys who Kirk fought in a classic original series episode, and Jonathan Archer fought in the Mirror Universe episode, A Mirror Darkly, in Star Trek Enterprise. But he fought a CG version of the Gorn, which wasn't really that good. Anyway, can reproduce by laying eggs in other species. So that is a gimme for the writers of the show right there. I said that episode were a bit like Alien, or a bit like The Thing. Like a crossover between the Alien and The Thing. That Strange New Worlds episode. Anyway, presumably this new Star Trek show will air on Paramount Plus like all new shows in the franchise, and hopefully will have a title and release date soon. Is that it? Oh, that's it. Oh, right, very good. But yeah, like I said, they've done the fair share of horror in Star Trek. Obviously not gory, gross out horror, but they've done some episodes that have been spooky, and some have been spooky, some have been, a little bit scary. It could be It could be said that even the episode The Chain of Command, where Picard gets tortured by the Cardassians, that could be classed as horror. I suppose, because it's quite horrific what they do to him. But if it's going to be like a gory horror, like Alien, where they're encountering some aliens that do horrible things, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But I'm not building up my hopes, although I did enjoy Strange New Worlds. But that episode with the Gorn and the Gorn hatchlings, it wasn't really very good. I mean, they had tails, for crying out loud. Maybe the tails drop off as they get older. Anyway, so there we go. So I just thought I'd share that. Star Trek horror series in development. What are they going to call it? Star Trek Scares. Scare Trek. Is that what they're going to call it? Scare Trek, that's what we'll call it. In fact, I'll put that in the title. Scare Trek. Right, so we'll leave it there. Just thought I'd share that with you. A quickie. Right, so wherever you are in the galaxy, look after each other. Hang on, where are we? And until next time,